My God. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mind of the Football Fans podcast. We're so glad you guys could join us. I'm David. He's Tammy. No Spy today. Spy had some other endeavors to get on with, but Tammy is here filling in as always. Tammy, we appreciate you for being here with us today.
Happy to
How are
be
you
here.
doing?
Pretty good. Could have been better. Could have had a win over the weekend, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I know. You know what? That's crazy. That was the first. I was going to even ask you something along those lines of like how you felt over the weekend or what was your feeling over the weekend. But we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get
Yeah.
to that in a minute. First and foremost, we have to say welcome to Minor Football Fans for all of you watching either live or after we're done recording live. You're home for all this Premier League football. Um, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And we have to start by saying, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Like this video precisely. Go watch other videos. Like those videos. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you get notified when we are dropping good content for you guys or when we're going live. We love to see you guys and we appreciate all the support. And don't forget, this isn't the only place you can find us. We're pretty much on every platform. Wherever I get a podcast, actually, we're there. And our socials, check us out. We have some content there for you guys. As always, we drop some nice short things for you guys to keep up with us. And very soon we'll be going live on Instagram and on TikTok as the season is winding down and even over the summer because we are going into the summer. So check us out on those places. We love to see you guys there. And again, thank you guys so much. But with that being said, obviously let's jump into Premier League football. This is match week 35. For some teams, they have three more match weeks to go or three more games to go, as we call it. And so some other teams, due to some other external fixtures, they have five. Tommy, how you feeling so far heading into kind of what we well, I know we're in the business end, but how do you feel heading into the business end of the season?
I feel like we're kind of on the beach, like Chelsea. I don't think I hear the players. They were talking about Champions League football. And I'm like, these guys don't know what they're talking about. And as a fan, I think we've all kind of just get like it's kind of like the season's already over. Now every game we play right now is just like we're looking at what's gonna happen next season.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that though, low key, because like I mean, obviously for me it's different as an Arsenal
Yeah,
fan, it's different for me. I'm still trying to there's still so
get
much
there.
things to get to this season. So I'm not really looking into next season. And you know, just trying to get through this season and even when I even look at the remaining part of the like league, not just Arsenal as a team, I look at the remaining parts of the league. Mathematically, some teams can still achieve things that they necessarily did not think about, while
Yeah,
some other teams can avoid relegation. Mathematically, it's still possible. So looking at all that is quite exciting to see and to follow.
yeah,
And with that being said, let's jump into the major headlines of the match week, shall we? Starting with
absolutely.
Tottenham 2, Arsenal 3. That was one hell of a game. I have to give you that. One
Yeah,
hell of
for
a
sure.
game. Arsenal scoring what was it 12 minutes into the game or 4 minutes? I can't remember to be honest. Like I mean let me just check my stats to be sure. I like making sure
Yeah,
I'm on point in my stuff. 15 minutes into the game actually. So I was close enough. 15 minutes into the game.
yeah,
Arsenal taking the lead by their favorite thing, obviously, as you know,
yeah.
set piece. Emil Holberg scoring the own goal. Then what? Mathemat 20, on the 27-minute mark, Saka scores from a controversial call. We'll get into
Yeah,
that in a minute. From a
very
controversial call.
controversial.
And then on the 38th minute mark, Havertz scores from a corner again.
Yeah,
Arsenal's so-called number nine, because some Man City have Haaland, Arsenal has corners. You know what it is. And then obviously Arsenal were cruising through the first half, even first 60 minutes of the game, they were cruising. And obviously Raya makes a mistake. We all make mistakes, we're human. Gives the ball to Romero. I have to say, what was Romero doing up front in that goal? Like, why was he so
yeah,
far forward? That was crazy to see. Um, and he places it well, nice as
yeah,
finish. And then obviously some with the penalty with 3 minutes to go in the game plus extra time. And that game, everything you kind of expected, not London Derby. So let's
yeah,
get right into it. Let's get right into it. Obviously, as I said, Arsenal scoring two goals from set pieces. Actually, let's say three. They scored all three goals from set pieces, two directly from set pieces, and one from defending a set piece, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Um, so what do you think? As I said, I did say Haaland has, sorry, Man City have Haaland, Arsenal has set pieces. What do you think of Arsenal set piece play?
I think, I mean, obviously, I want to give Arsenal their credit, but I also think Vicario is also just like he's very fraudulent on those corners. Like, even for that Kai Harris goal, Ben White is there, but he's not actually like he's just standing in front of Vicario. Like, Vicario doesn't try to get around him, he doesn't try to push him, he doesn't call one of his defenders to move him. He's just like, every time I see, and this has been like a problem. Like, I've heard Spurs fans talking about this all season, where he doesn't come out for crosses, and so I think that matchup was always going to be poor against like a very strong Arsenal team now. Like, I think, and I don't know if you talked about the Chelsea Arsenal game. I want to connect it to that because two London derbies this week. Arsenal win both of them. They come through with both of them
Yeah,
in what I would consider almost like Chelsea-esque performances, like Chelsea of old, not Chelsea of today, but like, it was weird playing you guys, and I'm seeing my players getting bullied. You guys are bigger, you're stronger, you're faster, and I'm like, that used to be Chelsea. Arsenal used to be this, team really just about
team fully
technicality, the the
tiki taka football.
Cazorlas, the Ozuls, like those type
Yeah,
of players. And so it's I think, I don't know, it was almost scary for me as a rival to see how solid your team is now.
yeah, and obviously credit to Ben White. Obviously, I said because he kind of
Yeah.
made Vicario.
Yeah. Yeah.
But from a sports point of view, what happened to Spurs? Like, because and I'll give credit to Arteta right now. I'm just giving because he Arsenal is used to controlling possession. They're used to
Yeah.
holding possession, but they're like, you take the possession, you have that. We'll sit on the low block and we'll play. Well, I don't want to say counter attack football, but it's kind of that's kind of how Arsenal won the game. So from a sports point of view, why didn't Ange knowing all this or kind of seeing all this middle of the game, why didn't he change it? Like, why did he stick to his base? And or is that why Spurs lost, if I may say that?
Mm, I think, I don't know if there's too much Spurs could have done. I think Arsenal were just the better team on the day. As far as Ange, I think Ange is just like, especially since that, I don't know if you remember that Chelsea 4-1 game at the start of the season. He doesn't change his principle. He has one style of play, and it doesn't matter if he's down by two men or if he has everyone on. It doesn't matter if he has no center backs and he's playing two full. He's going to play that high line. He's going to leave the space for you to counterattack. And in one way I can respect it because, I don't like Spurs aren't going for anything. But I mean, I think if they want to continue to rise up to the table, like, because what they're fourth, fifth now,
Yes.
realistically, a couple signings in the summer. They never spent that Kane money, really, I don't think. A couple signings in the summer. I mean, Spurs were really the only team that have money. Like, I was reading the Athletic article about it, and that's why they were the only team that really spent money in January with like Dragusin. I think they brought one more guy on loan as well. I'm forgetting. I'm blanking on his name now, but
I think it's that guy. Is it that guy from Udinese? That defender. I've not seen him play. I can't remember his
I
name
think that
right
was
now.
Dragusin. No, but no,
That's
Dragusin was from Genoa. Genoa,
oh yeah, I don't lost track of it. But yeah,
but
I don't know how many people they brought in the win. But anyways, yeah,
but
they
they
still
were
have that
really
hundred
the
and
only team. Yeah, and so I think like he just needs to be able to like you should have your style of play, but when you need to be more pragmatic, like you guys were today, when you need to like defend and hold on to a lead, I think he should have a style of play that allows them to keep their principles while also being more solid defensively. Because I'm actually almost curious now what their defensive record looks like. I feel like they're always conceding a lot. Yeah,
they
52
are
goals
considered.
conceded compared to you guys have conceded 28. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
they've conceded more goals than Man U in less games.
yeah,
I think that tells
and
you everything you need to know.
yeah, definitely, and it's crazy. Like it's Spurs. Don't get me wrong, they are playing exciting football, but with that exciting football, if okay, let's assume he doesn't change his ways. Let's assume he sticks with the same way. Exciting, free flowing,
Yeah,
highlight football. Can they go anywhere?
I think it'll be another Poch. Honestly, I think it'll just. I mean, the thing is, it's always hard with Tottenham to judge because honestly, I never expect them to go anywhere, regardless of what they do. So even if he does start being more pragmatic, I don't really expect that to change too much as far as like what they're gonna do.
Hmm.
But I think there honestly he is building something. There is something growing. I think Vicario, besides the crossing, I think he's a very good goalie. I'm starting to like that defense a lot more, like Udogi, Van de Ven, Romero, and
Pero,
who's
Pedro
the last
Porro.
one? Pedro.
Pedro
Like
Porro.
that's a very solid, like that's a nice attacking unit and a nice defensive unit. But I feel like they're kind of being exposed by by the style of play more than them any of one of those individuals being bad players.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that I agree with you. It's actually just the system of play. The system of play is what is making, Van der Ven sometimes, as much as he's like, allow me to say the
Fast.
Flash,
Yeah.
he's cannot, there are certain things he cannot catch up to,
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
definitely, that from his first point of view, their second half was way better than their first half. Their first half, they
Yeah.
just, and
They were
to
out
just
of it.
even, just to pick up certain players, Madsen was missing.
Mm,
Credit to Arsenal, obviously, but from a sports point of view, Martin was missing. Son, other than penalty, missing. I think
yeah.
Richarlison coming on, Brendan Johnson coming on had more impact on the game than those two guys. And obviously, people might say I'm crazy, but I couldn't see them in the game. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? But
Not
see,
even
and
Werner as
since
well.
I mean, when I did get injured, obviously, so
Was
when I
that
got that's
he came off in the I thought he came off
yeah.
at halftime.
Nah, he got. I think towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, it says
That's when
31st
Brennan
minute.
Johnson. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's when
yeah.
Brennan Johnson came on and stuff like that. But then since we're even picking on some players now, Kai Havertz obviously scoring two against Chelsea
Yep. And then go on
midweek.
assist
Then
today.
goal and assist, kind of man on match performance. What a ball he played to Saka.
Yeah,
I
that was
didn't
a
think he
fan.
had that in
I didn't think he
Arsenal.
had that in his Arsenal.
Oh my god,
I was
that was a
watching
ball right
it.
there.
I saw Saka peeling off. I saw Havertz on the ball. And I'm like, he doesn't have it in his locker. He doesn't have those type of facility. And then I saw the pass and I was like, oh my days, what's happening?
But I mean, this is just a kind of, and I don't say Chelsea was a bad system because he did strive on on that Chelsea system at a point in time. But you kind of have to think this is kind of his best performance in a while. Like
Yeah.
pretty much, I'll probably say since the Champions League final, more or less.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, like, the thing is with Chelsea, it was just I don't know if I don't know what it really was, why it didn't work because there were for me, I always thought it was a mentality thing when he was at Chelsea because honestly, and this is why I said like I didn't think he was going to be a good player for Arsenal, but I thought he could potentially be a good signing for Arsenal. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
in big games for Chelsea, he was always in every big game he was up for it, and he would always play well. But it was like it's like the same thing with what it's always been for Chelsea in the past couple of years. It's those games where you should win when you're playing at Bournemouth, when you're playing in Everton. It just didn't seem like he was excited for those games. It just didn't seem like he was interested, like he couldn't be bothered. Because I remember he scored like in a couple of games, maybe we're down, and he would just turn up with a crazy goal. Like there was one against Newcastle, I think last season.
yeah, I remember that one. I
Yeah,
remember that one.
that was a
Yeah,
crazy touch and goal, and I was just like, he doesn't always show it. He doesn't always show it, but he's starting to find that consistency with Arsenal, where it's like becoming more regular.
yeah, definitely. And another player, obviously, we have to look at, Saka, first English player since Ian Wright to score home and away at the North London Derby.
So,
Obviously, prior to this game, he wasn't on it. Like he was just
yeah,
touch and go, touch and go. But this game, he came in and absolutely did his thing. Obviously, he's one of the team. When you think about England and Euro 2024 in Germany, he's one of the starting. If not, I can't think of a better right winger right now than him. Okay, maybe actually Jared Bowen, but I'll still put him over Jared Bowen more or less.
yeah. I think here's a little unrelated, but do you Palmer starting at the Euros?
You see, that's a tough one. I believe Palmer should go to Germany. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I believe. But in terms
I
of
think he'll
starting,
definitely go now.
yeah, again, in terms of starting, that might be a tough one because I have. and we'll probably do an episode about the Euros in the coming weeks once the season is over.
Okay.
But like
Yeah, yeah.
I do have, I don't have the double pivot for England.
Oh, you
So
have
that's
midfield
where
three?
I have a midfield three
Okay.
of this guy Rice
Are you
as the
starting mine now?
holding, Rice as the holding, Foden and Bellingham as the two up front. So Foden plays as the 10, Bellingham as the 8.
Who do you have
So
on the
if
left wing then?
that's where I have the confusion though, because I think I'm thinking of having Rashford does turn up for England. We've seen that happen, but
Mm-mm.
then would you carry him to Germany just because you think he will turn up, just because of the past? Do you get what I mean? I mean, Southgate
Yeah,
would probably
yeah,
do that. Southgate would probably do it, but like as a fan, you're thinking, why is it going? Like his season has been abysmal, right?
yeah.
The next person I could think of starting on the left would be Bowen on the left. You get what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
That's the only person I can think of. But yeah, I don't have starting. It might be tough, but I do have him playing some good minutes for England
For me,
this Euro.
I would put Foden on the left and I would put Palmer in the middle. That's the only change I would make because I don't think I like between Foden and Palmer. Let's not even. It doesn't even matter who's better. I don't think there's a big gap between the two of them in terms of like whichever one you say is better. I don't think like the other one's that far behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I think between Foden and whoever else plays on that left, there's a much bigger gap than between Palmer and Foden. So I would play Palmer in the middle and I would play Foden on the left.
yeah, yeah. Um, Obviously, as I said, we'll get into England in a
Yeah,
bit, and because I think when you look at all the teams, England is the most interesting when it comes to international competition. So we'll look at them in a few weeks' time to come as we prep for the Euro 2024. But moving on to our next title contending team, I can't really call them title contending team no
yeah,
more,
not
can I?
anymore. It's over.
West Ham to Liverpool, Liverpool dropping two crucial points again at West Ham. Ooh. At a point, you kind of figure, you know, this thing about conceding first will end up coming to bite them.
Yeah.
There will be games where they can't necessarily keep up with it, and this is one of those games where they considered first, came back at it, you know, even got the lead at a point, and then blew it to Mikel Antonio. What a header by him! Actually, Jared Bourne with a unbelievable cross by him to Mikel Antonio. But with that being said, Liverpool, whew, there are a lot of headlines coming from Liverpool. There's obviously the
Yeah.
new guy. There's the new guy coming in, Arne Slot from Feyenoord. I don't really know too much
Oh, they
about
already
him.
announced the new manager.
Well, it's not announced, but obviously when Fabio Romano says something, you go
I
with
didn't.
it.
I missed that. I missed that.
You go with it. You have and Sky Sports saying it, all these guys saying it. So
Mm,
Arne Slot coming in, one big news. Then you have the club Salah fiasco on the
yep.
touchline. Another big storyline. You have Salah's contract. In that Salah club fiasco, you have the Salah contract. 1 year remaining in his contract. What's he going to do? You have the club leaving. What did club say to him that made him go ballistic at that point? Things like that. So other than the result itself, you have all these little things in and out of there, which brings me to my question. My bad. Which brings me to my question.
Mhm.
The club announcing he's leaving when he did early that period in time, did it kind of was that the wrong time to do it? Because kind of looks like it set all this thing into motion. Like they are literally playing based off emotional adrenaline, and they are just pushing. And you kind of sense that they will
Yeah.
come to a halt at some point. So was that a mistake from club's part?
I don't think it was a mistake because I mean, okay, it's easy now that we're looking at the table to say that that Liverpool threw it away, that they fumbled it, that they were in the seat. But I think like if you take a step back and at the start of the season, that we say that Liverpool are going to finish third, they're going to be in the title race all the way going up into the last 4 or 5 games of the season. I don't think Liverpool's team this season. I think this was a season too early to challenge for the title. And so I think him announcing that he was leaving gave them that boost to stay in the title race for like because when did he announced it in? Was it February?
February, yeah.
And I think they were starting to fall off right before that. And then he gave that him announcing it gave them that boost. But now when it comes to the business end of the season, I don't think they had it in them before that. So I think like this is just the level that that team is at. I think like because I mean this was even though Salah, Allison, Van Dyke, and even Robertson Trent. Robertson, he's had injuries this season though. Even Trent has had a couple injuries this season, right?
Yeah.
But like, there's some key figures in there. But like that midfield, for example, every single like Sabozlai, Endo, McAllister all came in this season. That's an entirely brand new midfield. You look at the attackers, like Salah is there. Salah is the big guy there, but Nunez not convinced. Gakpo not convinced. Diaz, he had his family situation. Inconsistencies. He's definitely one that will be there. Jota, a couple injury problems. Like their team was close to being ready for a title challenge, but I think it was just one season too early, and they really needed that six. I think, even though as well as Endo has done, as well as McAllister did when he filled in that role, I think the balance of that midfield is always off. Like, because I think I prefer McAllister playing in that number 8. Like, not when he's been moved further forward this season, I think he's played a lot better than when he was playing in that. I think he was too shackled when he's playing in that 6.
Yeah, definitely. And you brought that's why I said beginning of the season, like when we were talking about, when we was doing the whole prediction and whatnot, I said for me Liverpool, they need that holding midfielder. That's why I said
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't see Liverpool finishing in the top four. Like yeah, it's a let's call it what it is. Them finishing in top four this season is spectacular. Like it's actually spectacular. I didn't have
Absolutely.
them finishing in top four this season, right? Because I just thought that midfield was too imbalanced. Like
Yeah.
they just don't have that holding midfield. And then obviously injuries this season have been really bad for them. Trent out a period in time, Robertson out a period in time,
Yep.
Salah too was out for a period in time, and then
AFCON as
has come
well.
back and he hasn't really kicked in gears. You
Yeah.
know, he still has the most number of goals, but he hasn't just kicked it in gear.
I
You
think
had
he's goalless in 7 or something.
something like that. You had Allison also. Not that number two Kelleher wasn't good, but it's just that aura of Allison at the
Yeah.
back command. It's just different, So that together with like the team not really being balanced, you have Nunes missing chances, things like
Yeah.
that. It's a blessing that they actually finished in they will finish in top for this season.
Yeah.
So Liverpool, yeah, I can't. It's one of those things where you're like, yeah, it's
Like
just it's just you know
you'll banter them, but you like at the end of the day you have to. I think it's just sad. I guess I mean I'm not a Liverpool fan. So I'm not too sad about it, but I guess it's sad that Klopp will kind of go out on like a bit of a whimper
Carabao
because
Cup,
yeah,
yeah,
just the Carabao. And I really think for me the only thing I will say about their season is I don't know why he didn't prioritize the Europa League. I think I think
that's
it was a little crazy to like play that team in the first leg and get spanked 3-0. I think, in a season like this, because the Europa League final happens after the end of the season. I think you should have pushed for it because now what? Because I'm looking at the table right now. 3 games left in the season. They're 5 points behind you. So there's no catching up to you. If City has a game in hand on them, they're 4 points ahead of them, so they're not going to catch City. And now it's like Aston Villa is 9 points behind. No, Aston Villa is 8 points behind. So Aston Villa is not going to catch up. They're going to finish in third. They're just going to finish in third now,
yeah.
and that's already secure. It doesn't matter how they perform the rest of the season. So it would have been better if they pushed for that Europa League spot. If they actually won the Europa League.
You're probably yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And just let's take a bit of Liverpool. Actually, let's stay on Liverpool and from the new manager's point of view.
Mm.
And a slot. I don't know if you know him too well or if you follow him too
I've
well,
heard I've
but
heard his name before. I mean, Feyenoord have been doing pretty well the past 2 years. I'm imagining that's when he came in because
so what do you
did they not win the league last year?
they did win the league last year, yes.
That's
And
what I
and
thought.
I can't remember no, they are not winning the league this year. But I do have them. They did win the league last year. I think they probably finished second this year because PSV have just been crazy this year. But what do you expect from him? Just in like a few words, what do you expect him to come do in Liverpool? How do you expect this? Because this would be like a project for him. So how
Yeah.
long do you think this project will take, considering the backing he will receive?
I think he again, like I said, he has the like pleasure of like also inheriting a pretty good squad. Like I think this is a like it's a much better job to take than because there are a lot of comparisons to the Man U won like 10 years ago. When David Moyes, like Sir Alex Ferguson to David Moyes. I don't know if it's exactly the same because I think the team is in a much better place this time. And I don't want to lie. I don't want to say that like I've been watching every Feyenoord game that I know exactly how he plays. But
Yeah,
I think it's just a hard job to come into, especially now that I think Klopp really overperformed with this team this year. So the expectations of like if Klopp finished, they snuck their way into fourth. I think that would have been perfect for Arne Slot because then the expectations are they're because even Klopp barely managed to make fourth with this team, but now that they finished third, they were in the title race for most of it. The expectation is to go and win the title or be up there at the bare minimum. And that's a
yeah,
hard thing to do coming into the Prem, even if you do have a good team. And with it depends. I think the biggest issue he's gonna have is how do those big players react to him? I mean, because you already mentioned Salah. Trent is on Trent, I don't think he signed a new contract yet, so he could still leave in the summer as well. So if you lose Trent Salah, potentially Van Dijk committed to a new contract, right?
if I can, I don't remember. No, he says he will see it summer.
Okay,
So
yeah. So
summer won't.
that's
Yeah,
three big players who could potentially leave the club at the end of the end. I think if you lose even any one of those three, I think that's a massive loss.
yeah,
So he has a very tough job. I'm not envious of the job he's going to take on.
yeah. And then obviously, speaking of managers, West Ham. Just touch on them. West Ham a bit. David Moyes is race run at West Ham. Not in a disrespectful manner, but
It
just in
it's
a
it has been run. I think I don't know. I forget what season this was, but it was a couple of years ago. It was when they bought Samaka, when they got Paqueta. Like when they were. I think they finished seventh and sixth in back-to-back seasons, and then they started buying all of these pretty footballers, all of these like technically sound footballers, and David Moyes didn't know how to use them. All of a sudden, they find themselves getting close to relegation. Moyes almost got fired, and then he goes back to his shithouse type of ball. They come up the table, and I feel like it's the same cycle with West Ham. They shithouse their way up the table. They buy good players. Moyes doesn't know how to use those players. They go back down the table. He shits out his way back. It's. I think I'm getting tired of the cycle. I think they should. I think they should move on now, respectfully. In the summer, I think it should be a mutual parting of ways.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. That's pretty much where we're at. That's what I feel too, and we'll see what happens. I think this summer will be a big one for most of these
Yeah,
teams, and we'll see how it goes.
this was an exciting
Forest nil,
season.
exactly. Forest nil, City two. I mean, everyone was like, Forest, this game difficult. And to be
Yeah,
honest, I don't know if you watched the game, but I did. When I was watching the game, I was like, Forest really gave it a go, but they were
yeah.
wasteful. They could not
Mm,
finish their chances. If Chris Wood had a chance in the first half. I can't remember if it was one, if the game was 1-0 at that time, or it was still 0-0.
yeah,
He scuffed it.
yeah.
If
I
he had
saw
scored
that.
that, if he had scored it, that would have changed the game completely.
I
That
was
would have changed.
seeing. Oh, sorry.
No, I said that would have changed the game completely. I don't
Absolutely.
because City, right? City at this time they look vulnerable. Like obviously,
Mhm.
yeah, they are scoring, but they still look really vulnerable. They still look like one game could shake everything up.
Yeah, because I
So
mean, I think they could have lost to us. I'm looking at it now. Forrest outshot them, and even I saw the XG at halftime, and I think it was like 1.7 XG to Forest, and then zero point 0.3 XG to City.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. City did have they want. I mean, although you obviously they were doing their usual passing,
Yeah,
but when it comes to goal on goal, and maybe obviously because maybe Haaland was on bench and they missed folding a bit, but
yeah,
it was just one pass, no nothing really direct into the goal. And so I'm saying City, right? And obviously I might be delusional right now, but they play Wolves next. Then
hmm
I think I can't remember who they play after that, but they have some nice, good looking fixtures. Spurs is probably their hardest fixture left.
yeah.
Do you see City dropping points? Not even losing, just dropping. Like we talk about
I've
maybe.
said from I think it was match day 30 or maybe 20. I said I don't think City will drop again from the for the rest of the time. I think like City just knows how to get it done. Right now, this is City's time. Like, and I think performances. I don't think they don't matter anymore. Performances are irrelevant as long as you get the.
Yeah,
And that's the same thing I said about Arsenal when we were talking about the Spurs' victory. Like, it doesn't matter if it was tight at the end. You held on. You got the 3 points, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. And I think City just knows how to do that. And now that I mean, 4 in a row, no one else has done that ever before. And now it's in sight. I don't think they let up because yeah, since City played you and Liverpool, they drew with both of you guys, and they've now gone on to win every game since then. And I think they'll just continue. I think they'll just continue to see it out. So yeah, it's
so the,
Wolves, Fulham, Spurs, and West Ham. So some a couple shithouse teams in there, but I think City just get it done.
I mean, let's be frank. They did. That's true. They might win. They might win out and win the league either
Yeah,
ways. You know, but anything can happen. I mean, Wolves did beat
that's true.
them. Wolves did
True.
beat them in the return fixture. Spurs, they need to go to Spurs, and
Spurs is
we are,
a big
they
one.
have a record of not winning at
Doing
Spurs.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it could be. I mean, I just as an Arsenal fan, I'm like this.
You're
Just 2 points.
hoping.
Drop. Because I know that if we win out and they drop 2 points and they win out, we'll still win it because we'll both finish equally and our goal
Yeah.
difference will still be higher than theirs. So we will win it. So
Okay.
I'm just looking at it and I'm like, oh, City, come on, City, come on. And don't get me wrong, they are not playing the best of football. And as you said,
Yeah.
the performance doesn't really matter. All that matters is get the
Just
three
getting it
points.
done.
Get the 3 points. Let's go. Whether it's through one penalty, 90+8, like Bayer Leverkusen, or you know, playing fantastic football, winning 5-0. Whichever way you need to get 3 points, just get it. You know.
Yeah.
So, but from in other words, what I'm hearing is you have City winning it.
Oh, yeah, I've had City winning it the whole season. I mean, I'm looking back at their pictures, and the last time they lost was early December, December 6th. Like they've just been on a tear, and since then, the only games that they've dropped points to were Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. They've only dropped game points in 3 games since the start of December. I mean, that's a ridiculous. And even then, they were still 3 draws against. Okay, throw out Chelsea. 2 draws against their 2 title rivals. And
Yeah.
what did I'm pretty sure you guys also drew Arsenal Liverpool. Was that a draw or did you beat them?
The first at Anfield was a draw. Then
Mhm.
Emirates was 3-1. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, 3-1 to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
We beat City and Liverpool this year at the Emirates. Then we drew at
Okay. And then you
Anfield.
drew away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. City haven't because I know Arsenal have the best top six big six record this season
Yeah.
because I don't think City, I mean, they haven't been winning them, which is why I think that Spurs game could end up being tricky. But
That
they've
that
just
I
been hanging on.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on from the title race. Obviously, again, throughout the whole table, there's a race throughout the whole table, not just for
Yeah.
the title. We have the Champions League. Sorry, the last Champions League place. It looks
Yeah.
like Villa has secured that Champions League place with obviously Arsenal beating Spurs.
Yeah.
Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 2. As a Chelsea fan, what do you make of the game? Sorry, before you go on, it was a game of two halves.
Yeah.
Villa bossing the first half, then Chelsea coming out to boss the second half. What do you make of that game?
I Even actually, I don't even think Villa. I think Chelsea bossed the entire game. I think we bossed the first half as well but it was similar to City where it was possession for the sake of it. Like, because I don't know I think it was almost 75-80% possession for Chelsea in the first half, but there wasn't a lot of penetration. Like, we created a couple chances, but most of it was just like, lethargically passing because Villa, they were in, I think, like they were defending in a 4-4-2. So it was
Yeah.
just 2 banks of 4, and our center backs are just passing it between themselves. Like they have all the time in the world. Like we aren't down 1-0 already because they scored early and then they just started defending. They said, and then they hit us again on the counter, and it was a tough goal to take because halftime we're down 2-0, And also, I think we've been playing the better. I think we've been the better team in that first half. And the second half, we come out. Again, we're kind of bossing it again. Gallagher with a beautiful goal, crazy out of nowhere. Madueke, and Madueke, I don't know. Madueke is really a strange one for me because he's been scoring a lot of goals whenever he plays because he doesn't have that many minutes. I think he's only played like less than 500. And considering he
Yeah.
hasn't been injured, I'm a little surprised that he hasn't been playing. But his attitude is really his problem.
Yes, yes, I agree with that 100%. I think he has this nonchalant attitude. Like he doesn't show how much he cares. I feel like obviously I think he cares very much,
Yeah,
but he just doesn't show it, and that affects his game kind of. He
yeah,
plays this, you know, when I have the ball, I kind of do what I want, but like
yeah,
it might not be productive, and I don't really care about that, to be honest. You get what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So that I think that's what's kind of affects his football. Other than that, he is a really good player.
yeah. I think for me, I think I've always thought that I think Madueke for me is I've always had more stocks invested in than Mudryk. Like, Mudryk, physically he's there, and I see in training, I see occasionally you'll see glimpses, but Madueke 1v1 has been there since he signed last year. He's been
Yeah.
on it, but like it's the other parts of the game, it's the tracking back. Because actually, that was the thing. Madueke actually gave up the first goal by not tracking all the way back. It was like he was kind of following his man, but then he keeps going, and he just lets his man run off free, and then he opened at the far post. I think I'm pretty sure he put a ball in from the far post, but he just lets his man run off. And I think I see that a lot with him. Like almost every time he plays, I feel like he's letting his fullback go and wander off, and it usually ends up leading to a goal that we concede, and that's why I think he hasn't been playing so much.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And again, I said Villa from a Villa point of view, it's pretty much done and dusted. Champions League football
Well,
is secured.
I mean, Spurs have 2 games in hand. If they win both of them, they'll right behind
You
them.
you expect Villa to win out too. You
Who
do
do, who
expect
are
Villa
who are
to win
Villa's
out.
last 3 games?
That's a good question, but you do expect Villa to win out.
I mean, with that Chelsea
Okay, I mean
performance, they're looking shaky.
they still have Europa League football semi-final, Europa Conference
Sure.
League. Sorry, they have Conference League. They play. Oh, okay. They play Brighton. They play
So,
Olympiacos this week. Then
mhm.
Brighton, then Olympiacos again, then Liverpool, then Palace.
Mm,
So it
that's
is,
that's
it
that's
is,
tough. That's tough.
it is, it could go either ways, but I'm not going to hold it against them and not say they won't win out.
I
They might
think
end up winning out.
I think that Liverpool game might end up being easier now that Liverpool are kind of. I think Liverpool are kind of done for the season now.
Yeah.
So I think that Liverpool game will be deceptively like. I think it looks a lot harder on paper than I think it will be. I expect Villa to beat them because they still have something to play for, and Liverpool don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of another team chasing Champions League football that might actually mathematically not be able to get Champions League football, Manchester United won, Burnley won. Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
just
mean, I've lacked words to describe this United team, to be honest. I've actually lacked words to describe at home to Burnley, and you end up drawing the game 1-1. What a goal by Anthony, though. I have to give it to him. 2 goals in the Premier League, or three, I
yeah.
don't even know.
I'm not. No,
Then,
that was his first one.
oh my god,
Yeah,
that's even more bizarre. That's even more bizarre. And then, Onana, I don't know what he goes out to do. Like, I don't know what you call. Like, what is going on in your brain? Your defender is already there. Like, okay. Let me give him benefit
Oh,
of doubt
was
and
that what the
say,
penalty was given for?
yeah. You know what? I
Oh,
don't even
I
know.
saw that clip. I didn't know that that's where the penalty came from. I thought that they just missed it. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what he was doing there. That was wild.
Oh, I want to give him benefit of doubt. I said, okay, maybe he shouted
Yeah.
to his defender, and his
Hmm.
defender did not hear him, and then
Yeah.
you know. But that's the only thing I can think of. Other
No,
than
but
that,
I
that
think
was mental.
even if he left it to, if his defender didn't get there first, because he got there way after the ball, so like the attacker would have gone there first if the defender left it.
Oh, then I don't even know what to even give him to say
Yeah,
other than he was
yeah,
just not thinking, loss of concentration, which is
and
pretty much
he's
United's season as a
yeah,
whole.
Yeah, I don't know. United, they always just find a way. But I mean, credit to Burnley. I mean, I don't remember. I think it was 2 weeks ago they drew with us as well. When we drew with Sheffield, then we drew with Burnley. So credit to Burnley. They're picking up their points towards the end of the season.
Mathematically, they can't stay. They can't. They just need one win and they are back at it. And
Yeah,
the best part about it, Burnley plays Forest last game of the season.
because I can say Forest is the one that they're gonna need to beat to get out.
Yeah, so Forest can't stay. Forest can't go down. And, you know,
It would be very harsh if they went
it's
down though.
who, Forest or Burnley?
Honestly, I think I kind of like Luton. If I could pick, I would want Luton to stay out.
That's me too. But then I also like Vincent Company and I want,
Yeah,
but
and I like Forest as
you,
well. They have a good squad, like Morgan
Gibbs
Gibbs
White,
White,
yeah,
Hudson Odoi. What's the Alanga?
yeah,
Even their strikers are good. I mean,
Chris
a
Wood. They're not,
poor
I
game
mean,
last time, but yeah, Chris Wood is good. Awayini's he's very
Awoyin,
good.
yeah, he's good. Yeah,
He's very good.
yeah.
So I don't know. I
Um,
honestly, whoever stays up, I'll be happy.
yeah. That's as long as Everton is staying up. And speaking of
Yeah,
Everton,
yeah,
Everton won, Brentford nil. Obviously, the Merseyside derby kind of
yeah,
ended hopes for Liverpool. What a victory for them, Merseyside
yeah.
derby, and then beating Brentford. That's 4 wins on the spin, literally 4 wins on the spin, securing pretty much all but securing their safety in the Premier League. Um, just kind of found the right time to get going, innit?
Yeah.
Found the right time to get going.
But yeah, they picked up a lot of like I remember earlier in the season it was they got the points deducted and then they just went on a run, picked up a whole bunch of points, then they started losing, and then now they're going on a run again. I think that like they just picked up their points in like a short space of time. But I always
Yeah,
how many points did they get deducted at the end of the day?
8. It was I
8?
think it was no, it was either 10 or it was 10 or 12.
I think it was
Then
10, and then they took away 2,
or is it
or they took no,
6?
they took away 4,
Sorry,
and then
they
they
took away
added
4 and
2 again.
2. Oh yeah, so yeah, 8 point deducted. Um but it looks that that's not affected them whatsoever. So
Yeah,
credit to Everton. Another team we have to give credit to: Bournemouth 3, Brighton 1. Sorry,
yeah,
Brighton nil. Two sides of the coin actually for this. Brighton
yeah.
up there. They literally just tallied their most points in the Premier League season, broke the record for their most points in the Premier League
Oh
season.
wow,
And then Brighton haven't just been at it. Like this
they
season as a
haven't.
whole. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's the stress of Europa or something is
Yeah, I don't
just
think they
not
have the
clicking.
squad size for it.
It's just
Yeah,
exactly so. Brighton, Bournemouth, credit to Bournemouth. Brighton, maybe next season we don't know. Roberto De Zerbi doesn't even know his future precisely right
I
now.
think he's leaving. I don't think he's happy there. I think that's part of why we've seen the different performances. Because no, I've heard that they were like I know Brighton have been in bad form, but yeah, 3-0 to Bournemouth, 4-0 to City. They drew with Burnley as well. Arsenal spanked them, drew with Brentford, lost Liverpool. Like lost to Fulham. Like they've been losing a lot of their last couple of fixtures. So
Yeah,
I think Deserby's done because I was hearing complaint. He was complaining about like the lack of like players in the squad. Like like that they didn't bring in like the quality that he wanted. You know what I mean?
hmm So yeah, so it's a tough one, but again, credit to Bournemouth. We'll see how Brighton go over the summer and where Roberto De Zerbi ends up. Palace won. Sorry, Fulham won. Palace won. Nothing too much. Palace, you know, doing their thing. That's
Yeah,
3 games now or 4 games undefeated, pretty much. Fulham, they're just coast. These are the teams you call mid-table coasting
yeah.
teams, just
They're on the beach.
chilling, enjoying being in Premier League, whether they like it or not. But yeah, um, Wolves 2, Luton 1. Nothing too serious there. Wolves again. Wolves is in that category, if not a little bit more than Fulham
Yeah,
and Palace. Credit to Gary O'Neill and the job he's done at Wolves this season is crazy.
yeah.
And Luton, one of those teams you think, please stay, like to be a blast for you if you stay in Premier
They
League.
really
Sorry, to be a
will.
blast for us, if you stay in the Premier League. But we know that not everyone can stay in the Premier League.
Yeah,
And yeah, and then to round us off, Match week 35, Newcastle 5, Sheffield 1. R, as you can see there, stands for relegated as because as of
That
this game
last game.
week,
Yep.
Sheffield has been relegated back to the championship. And speaking of relegated and also promoted, Leicester back in the
Yeah.
Premier League as of I can't remember, I think Thursday or so. Thursday, Friday or
I
so.
can only I can only see Sheffield going down and Leicester coming up as like a massive upgrade to the league. If I'm being honest, like no offense to Sheffield, but I was sad to see Leicester go down even to begin with. Like
Yeah.
glad that they're back so quickly. I did not want another lead situation.
But yeah, Leicester back in Premier League, Sheffield back. So sad to see. But it looks like we'll have to wait to final day of the season to know the remaining two teams going back down.
Yeah.
And also the two teams coming back into the Premier League. So guys, that's our match week 35 recap. We absolutely enjoyed it. But just to round up before we leave, the stats. I'm just going to put it out there. Obviously,
Oh
Haaland
yeah.
21 goals, Cole
Yep.
Palmer
20
20,
goals.
Watkins 19. With that being said, who do you have winning the Golden Boots?
Really putting me. I'm gonna go Palmer because he's
Okay.
one goal behind. Because what kind of how bad was Holland injured? Because I know he came on and he only played the last 10 minutes,
He's been on and off. There are just things going on and off
but
there.
and then I was telling you, Chelsea have two games in hand on everyone else. So I think with 5 games, I can see Palmer just squeaking past Holland, maybe. But it's also Holland, so he might just score 4 goals in one game, 5 goals in one game, and just win the whole thing. He might end,
Yeah,
Holland could still end up finishing on 30 goals, which is the craziest part.
yeah. That is crazy. Yeah. And then obviously clean sheets. We
Oh,
have
Raya's won this
Raya.
for a while, right?
Raya. Raya's been on there for a while. Obviously, he had 6 back-to-back away clean sheets.
Crazy.
And I mean, he's in a defense. He's in a team or a system where the defense is prioritized. So
Yeah.
yes, he's done his part, but most of this clean sheet is because the defense has been spectacular. But I'm not taking anything away from him because he's been also instrumental
Yeah.
this season too. So I do. I mean, I think this is clear. Raya is winning it because Pickford will
Yeah.
concede goals sooner
Absolutely
than
will.
later. So I do have Raya winning it. But yeah, that's his match week 35. People, um, absolutely love this. Obviously, before I forget, Chelsea plays Spurs
We do
this
play Spurs.
this Thursday. I think Thursday, either Wednesday or Thursday.
Hopefully it's on Thursday.
Well, one of them too. Chelsea plays Spurs. That is one of Chelsea's game in hand, and obviously one of Spurs' game in hand. So that will
Yep.
be a good game. Good game.
Yeah, it is on Thursday.
Again, yep. Again, guys, don't forget to please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when we drop and go live. Yes, sir, down there. And again, this is not the only place you can find us. Wherever you get a podcast, audio form is available so that you know when you're driving to work or you're at the gym, you can hear us out. And obviously our socials, check us out. Instagram, TikTok, right there. Check out our individual pages too. Tammy's individual page, his individual page. But yeah, this has been amazing. Tammy, thank you so much for joining us and filling in this week. You
Thank you
know,
for
we
having me
hope to
on.
have yes, sir. We hope to have you more and more on the show as we continue to grow in the show. We hope you guys have an amazing week ahead. Stay safe, stay healthy. We're out.